little YouTube family, it's Ashley and welcome back to my channel. I am going to be doing my top 5 makeup palettes today. I asked you guys on Snapchat, if you don't follow me there, do go follow me on Snapchat. I asked you guys on Snapchat what you would like to see in my top series, and so many people said palettes. Now I didn't want this to be an excessively long video and do 10 different palettes and explain why I like them, so I broke it down to 5, and these are my top 5 palettes, the ones I reach for most often. They're the ones that if I hit pan on all these colours I would have to run out and buy the palette again, or even some colours in the palette I would have to get. I absolutely adore these palettes and that's why they are my top 5. I obviously am well aware that some of these palettes are a little bit more on the expensive side, but I am aware that you're getting more than 10 shadows in each of these palettes. I think if you are investing in makeup, a makeup palette is the way to go, and these are just the ones that I love and the ones that I reach for, and I hope you guys enjoy this, and I will talk about each palette, why I love it, and they're in no particular order just in case you're wondering, because I couldn't put them in order. It's too difficult for me. I love them all equally. Anyway guys, let's hop into the favourite palettes, and don't forget, if you're not already, please hit that subscribe button, make my day. And if you're not aware, I also have a vlog channel and lots of social media which will be linked down below, including Facebook, Instagram, the whole lot. So go follow me everywhere because I love chatting with you guys. Anyway, let's move on into my favourite palettes and stop clapping your hands, Ashley. Okay, I'm going to start off with the newest palette in my collection, and this is the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. A little background of me and Anastasia: I've never tried any of her makeup palettes before, so I have nothing to compare this to. I don't know if the quality is different in this compared to other palettes. I don't know if it's the same, so I'm just going on the basis of this one palette. I was obsessed the second I got it. I got it off Cult Beauty, or was it Beauty Bay? One of them anyway. If you're wondering, that's where you can get Anastasia, and it'll be linked down below. But I bought this because, look at the shadows. Hello! They just scream Ashley. Like, everything about them is my cup of tea when it comes to eyeshadow palettes. Pinks, the bright orange, the like cranberry colours, everything about this palette was screaming at me. There would be something seriously wrong with me if I didn't have this in my collection, because everything about it is what I love. And you guys know I'm crazy about pinks and purples. A little bit too much, I think. Look at that colour, and look at this colour. They're just beautiful. The thing I will say about this, and I do have a full review which I'll link that down below as well. Sorry, I'm linking everything below, but I don't want to ramble on about this too much when I've done a full review of it and swatched all the colours. The colours are extremely buttery. They're very pigmented. There's nothing powdery or choppy about any of these colours. They blend seamlessly on the eyes. They're really easy to use if you're a beginner with eyeshadows and you're just not sure how to blend. These are really good to get because they help you along with the blending process. They're not going to be extremely difficult. You need 10,000 brushes to blend out the crease and it's just choppy all over the eyelid, because I can't be dealing with that. I don't have time in my life to be blending out choppy eyeshadow. So I want something that is creamy, buttery, and really easy to blend. And it comes with a mixture of kind of satin finishes and matte finishes. Majority of this is matte, but I just think it is a super palette, especially if you are not sure what sort of palettes that you want to get next and you haven't delved into Anastasia's palettes. I highly recommend the Modern Renaissance one. Now the thing I will say about this palette is it's a felt covering, and I'm a hella grubby girl, so I have like paw prints all over this, so I will say that it will get a bit dirty. Just keep that in mind about the palette. The next palette that I want to talk about might come as a surprise to a lot of you guys. This is not a palette I regularly talk about, but it's one that I use so much, and I'm like, Ashley, why don't you talk about that more? And this is the Nightlife palette from Sigma, and it looks like this on the inside. Ugh. I am mostly obsessed with this palette because of that plum colour there and that purple shade there. Those two colours give me life. I absolutely adore them. I love everything about this palette. It's just so pretty on the eyes, and I got multiple eye looks using this. Sometimes I will literally just use those two colours and I'm good to go. Sometimes I use the purple and mix this kind of creamy shade in with it. I just adore this palette. Sigma's eyeshadows again are buttery, really creamy. They're very soft, really easy to work with, and just this colour is everything. Everything. I use this palette today to create my eye look as well. And I know a YouTuber made this as well, Camilla, and she is just a babe, and I agree with every single eyeshadow she picked for this palette. I highly recommend it. The next eyeshadow palette I want to talk about, I got it at Christmas. Now it was limited edition, but none of the shadows in it are limited edition, and the great thing about Inglot is that you can actually go and make this palette up yourself. So it contains 10 eyeshadows and they look like that. Just obsessed with this. Obsessed obsessed with this palette. I use it so often. I actually surprised myself how often I use this palette. I thought when I got it I'd be like, I'll use it for the first kind of week or two because it's new, but I was surprised that I kept going back and back and back to it, and we're now into August and I'm still using it quite regularly. It is beautiful. The red and the orange are like my favorite color in the palette, but this purple is fantastic too. And these highlight shades, they're just like, I just want to just give you a little swatcheroonie. Just look at that one there. Oh, so pretty. And this gold, I use that quite a lot as well. I'll swatch the orange because it's my favorite color in the palette. They're just such beautiful colors, so pigmented. That's what I love about Inglot. Their shadows are just crazy pigmented. This is really easy to bring traveling because it is tiny. I brought this with me when I went to Gran Canaria, and then when I went to Fuerteventura there last month, I just bring it everywhere because I know that I'll get so many different looks out of this palette. I love everything about it, and the creaminess of the shadows, it's just my everything. I love this palette. The next palette I want to talk about is going to come as no surprise to anybody because this is a palette that I use quite a lot. I had to give this a rest for a while because I was using it quite a lot in makeup tutorials and it was getting a bit extreme. And it is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. This is the original one, the first one. That cranberry shade in there, or burgundy shade, whatever you want to call it. Again, the golds and like browns. There's also a green tone in, and a purple and a pink. There's everything in this palette. A lot of people ask me all the time about this versus the Naked palette. There's not really much comparison because the Naked palette is a straight up naked palette. It is all nude shades, whereas this has pops of colour thrown in as well. So it's got to do with your personal preference. Do you like those pops of colour, or do you want it all to be neutral? If you want it all to be neutral, then go with the Naked palettes. If you want the pops of colour with the neutralness, neutral feeling, then I would recommend this one. It depends on your own personal preference. The colours in this are super pigmented as well. Like, just look at that. They are incredibly buttery. They're very, very soft and creamy, really easy to blend. The fact that this palette smells like cocoa is not the reason I'm recommending it. But yes, it does smell like cocoa. Everything about this I love. I get so many different looks. I can't even tell you how many different looks I've got with this palette. You can get an eye look as basic as you want, or you can go as dramatic as you want using this palette, and that's why I love it and why I highly recommend it if you haven't picked it up or tried it. So the last palette I want to mention kind of has a soft spot in my heart, and the reason why is because this palette was one of the first palettes that I ever remember using and thinking, oh my god, my makeup skills are getting just a little bit better. Like, I'm no makeup artist, there's no fooling anybody, but I do try my best. And like I said to you guys, if you want to get better, then keep practicing. There is no other way to do it. I'm self-taught and I just kept practicing. But this palette, the Naked 3 palette, was the first palette that I remember ever using saying, oh my god, I actually really like the way my makeup turned out. I feel like there was a bit of skill involved in this makeup look. Maybe it was just the time that I was using it, I was getting a bit better, or maybe it was just the palette itself. You get these gorgeous rose toned shade eyeshadows, and that's what I absolutely adore about this palette. I just think it is so beautiful. This is my favourite Naked palette out of the bunch, obviously why I'm including it in this, and it's just because the shadows are right up my alley. And like with all Urban Decay shadows, they're all creamy and buttery, really easy to blend. You have a mixture of shimmers. There's a little bit more shimmers or satin finished shadows in this than there would be matte. That's the only problem I would say about this if you're into your matte shadows. To be honest, it never really bothered me. I absolutely adore it. There's a shadow in this for everyone, and like I said, it's one of the most easiest palettes ever to create a look because you can just do anything with it and you don't need to look at it and go, oh my god, what am I going to do with this, because it's so easy to make up a look with it. And I highly recommend it if you've never tried this before. Definitely pick it up or swatch some of the shadows, in it to see if they are your cup of tea. But to be honest, I don't think there's anybody in the world who wouldn't suit these colours. They are stunning. Okay guys, that is it. So that is my top 5 makeup palettes, the ones I recommend to you guys to go out and buy if I was recommending any palettes. Obviously I didn't include any of my Makeup Geek shadows or my loose shadows from MAC because they're not technically palettes. I know you could argue that yeah, the Inglot ones are all loose as well, but the Inglot one did come as a full palette. Please let me know guys your favourite makeup palettes in the description bar below, or if there's a palette that you would like me to use in a makeup tutorial, please let me know. I would love that too. And I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Thank you for your consistent support and love. I love you guys so much for that. Thank you for watching. Mwah.